There's no judgment. Nature doesn't care if you're a good person or what your thoughts and feelings are, and if you think you're fair or you think you're someone's unfair. Nature doesn't care about any of those things. The only thing that it cares about is your direct focus, and the feelings and emotions that you're having are the feelings and emotions that are going to be mirrored back to you everywhere you go. And so if you want something, but you don't really feel that deserving of it, then you'll never be able to get it. Because in order to get it, you have to be 100% clear and feel deserving and feel worthy and envision yourself having it. And that's the energy that it takes for you to be in, for that thing to come to you. If you've ever felt like you were destined for more, you're in the right place. It's time to break out of the box you've been placed in. The world is waiting for your light. Hey friend, it's Agnes. I'm so glad you're here. Today I want to talk about a topic that I hope is not going to be too controversial. I don't intend it to be controversial, but I think if it lands on someone that thinks a little bit differently, it could be. But I want to talk to the people that are the people pleasers, the ones that have the good girl syndrome or good boy syndrome, where you've gone your whole life sort of wanting to do the right things and feeling like you're always doing the right thing and you're always being, quote unquote, a good person. And then you look around and you wonder, why do you not get the stuff that you want? Or why don't you have the things that you're dreaming about, that you're desiring? And there's plenty of other people around that aren't even good people, that are like jerks, and you can't stand to be around them, or they're unethical, or all of these types of things. And why do those types of people oftentimes get what they want or live these easy lives when you're over here just being a good person and good things don't always happen to you? I like this topic because I've been a people pleaser for a long time, and it's been one of those things that I've asked and thought about a lot, especially when you think about money, because there's this stigma that money tends to end up in the hands of evil people, and that's why so many people think that money is evil, because there are plenty of really crappy people out there that have a lot of money. I watched this show called Below Deck, and it's these super yachts, and people rent super yachts, and the cameras kind of follow along with the crew and everything. But some of the guests, that charter these yachts, they're just rude. They're obnoxious. They drink too much. And sometimes when I watch that show, I'm kind of like, how does someone like this even become successful in their lives? Like, how do people like this, how are they able to acquire so much wealth in their life with this type of crappy personality and just way of being, and not treating other people with high regard and high respect, and just being, this type of trashy person? And so anyway, I was listening to Matthias DeStefano, and he made such a great point. And I think this is important for us to understand, for those of us that sort of struggle with these types of thoughts. And that is that in nature, there's no judgment at all. Nature doesn't care if you're a good person or a bad person, or what your thoughts and feelings are, and if you think you're fair or you think you're someone's unfair. Nature doesn't care about any of those things. The only thing that it cares about is your direct focus, and the feelings and emotions that you're having are the feelings and emotions that are going to be mirrored back to you everywhere you go. And so if you want something, but you don't really feel that deserving of it, then you'll never be able to get it. Because in order to get it, you have to be 100% clear and feel deserving and feel worthy and envision yourself having it. And that's the energy that it takes for you to be in, for that thing to come to you. And if you're not in that energy, it never will come. Whether or not you're a good person or not, it doesn't matter. So he sort of gave this example about nature, and he said, in nature, sometimes people look at nature and say, oh, nature is so perfect, and nature is so peaceful and wonderful and amazing, and why can't all of life just be just like nature and peaceful and wonderful and amazing? And he says that's actually completely not true. He says in nature, like in the jungle, in the woods, the plants are in a constant war for their lives, for their survival, and for their expansion. So the plants build skyscrapers, and they want to be taller than any of the others because they want to take all of the resource, which is the sunlight, for themselves. And then there's the smaller plants that are left down below, that are left without as much of the sun or any. And so they've had to adapt and be able to feed and get nutrition from the roots and from other parts of the forest where they aren't having access to the sunlight. And then another aspect of it that he brought up is he said that the bugs are the number one enemy of the plant, because the bugs can attach themselves to the roots, to the leaves, and they can eat away at the plant and kill it. And so in order for the plant to preserve itself, what it has done is it's evolved into a system of growing flowers. And so that the flower is not necessary for the plant's survival at all, but what it does is it gives something for the bug to be attracted to, so that the bugs go to the flower, and by doing so they actually extract the pollen, and then they spread it and they pollinate, and so they are actually helping in the expansion of the plants. And that the plants, the way that he describes it, is that like the plants have created this massive corporation that they are continually growing, evolving, and expanding, and they have massive amounts of slaves, which are the bugs that are basically doing the evolving and expanding for them in the way of pollination. And so if you think about this, so now, because there is no judgment in nature, there is no this is good, this is right, this is wrong. It just is. When I heard this, it kind of was like light bulbs going off in my head, because I'm like, okay, so this makes sense, because this actually could be why a lot of rich people are jerks, or why jerks become rich more easily than good, nice people, is because people that have that type of mentality, they're not placing their worthiness on whether or not they can accumulate wealth. They just accumulate the wealth because that's what they put their mind to doing. And so they put their mind to doing it, they put their focus to it, they put the actions behind the focus, they march accordingly in the direction that they believe that that is the thing that they need to do to get the things, and they do the things, and they acquire the wealth. Now, I'm not saying that like good people can't be wealthy or shouldn't be, because I absolutely believe that we all should be wealthy. Mary Young talks about this all the time. She says, wealth in the hands of good people can do so much good for the world. And this is very, very true. The more good people that have access to money, the more good can come from that. Only good can come from that. So money is always going to be an amplifier. If you're a good person and you have a lot of money, you're gonna be able to do a lot of good stuff with that money. If you're a bad person, if you're a jerk and you accumulate a lot of money, you can do more bad things with the money. So it's an amplifier, and it doesn't correlate. Being a good person doesn't mean you're going to be wealthy. Being a bad person doesn't mean you're not going. None of those things don't correlate together. The universe, nature, does not care if you are nice or you're not nice. The only thing that it cares about is that your thoughts are aligned with your desires. If you have a desire, your thoughts have to be aligned, and you have to be thinking that you are worth it, that it's already been created, that it's just your job to receive it. That as soon as you desire it, as soon as you want it, everything is already going into motion for that desire to come and be your reality. You have to align your thoughts and emotions with that though. So you have to put yourself in a place of receiving and surrender. And don't contradict the desire with thoughts that are not aligned with that desire coming to you. The universe doesn't judge your desires. It doesn't care if you want $10 or if you want $10 million. All that it cares about is that your thoughts and actions are aligned with that desire. So tell yourself every single day that you are worthy. Write it on your mirror. I am worthy. I am enough. That's why I do so many of the positive affirmations and all of the things that I post up on my Instagram and on Facebook. I'm constantly looking for great affirmations that I can repeat. Subliminal messages are amazing as well. Things that you can repeat over and over to program your subconscious mind to believe that you are enough, that you are worthy, that you are deserving, that you get to have whatever you want to have just because you do. Your existence here is enough proof that you deserve anything that you could possibly imagine in your mind that you want. And you don't have to please everyone all around, and you don't have to think about if your desire is okay or if it's good enough or if you are allowed to want it, because the fact that you do want it is proof that you're allowed to want it and that you can have it. Message below if you have a comment or a question, or if this resonates or if this brings up a memory for you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.